Now, you also indicated that you wanted these people to be selected by merit. Now, and I guess in my opinion, that says that you're assuming that they currently are not selected by merit. Is that your
I think
position?
that's the theory of the present law. I mean, that's the theory of the present form of the plan.
Now, whose theory? I'm trying to narrow. I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
Well,
what you're
I
saying.
think
because when you say we need to have this, and we need to have these people selected by merit, in my mind, that says that currently they are not.
No.
And so I need to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying.
We all agree. I don't know anyone that disagrees that they should be decided on merit. The question is, how do you best decide and pick judges upon merit? That's not the question.
So you're not saying that these that are selected now are not being selected by merit?
I think the problem with the argument in support that they're presently selected in the merit is that it is controlled by a very, very small partisan group of people. That is a very small number of the lawyers in this state who, for example, as I understand, the present commission, the lawyers that are chosen on the Supreme Court, the 3 lawyers, are all members of, or have been previous members of the governing board of the Missouri Association of Trial Attorneys. Well, I'm certain that's a fine organization. I'm not a member of that organization, but I'm sure it's certainly a fine organization.
Are you an attorney?
I certainly am.
Okay, I didn't know that. Go ahead.
But at any rate, that I think that the fact that and the lawyers choose that. I mean, it's my vote collectively of all the lawyers in the state chose those people. But again, to have them have a dominance of the system is a narrow or partisan view, not in the sense of Democrat Republican, but a partisan view. And I think to add a lay member to it, elected and chosen by the governor, advice and consent of the Senate, brings the system a lot broader and open to it.
How do you think that is not going to be politicized if you have the governor and you have the legislature to make those decisions? We're a partisan body,
We certainly are. We certainly are. But we are also some of the branches of government, and no less important than the judiciary. And in order to create a truly independent judiciary, I think the input of the citizenry through their elected officials. We are answerable to our voters. The governor is answerable, at least only has 2 terms, but the governor is answerable the next time they're up for election to their voters. So to have input of the public through their elected officials more than exists today, I think brings the system more in line with the impact or input of the public is good, not a negative. I don't see that as a negative.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying it's a negative, but I think that they send us here for purposes, and so clearly, as you said, we are answerable. That is correct. Right. But if we want to send everything to vote of people, then there's no point in us being here. Last question has to do with that. I know that I believe, and I'm not sure, and I think you came in the last hearing, that there's another jurisdiction that has adopted this plan. You know anything about that? In the state of Missouri?
Well, we have only one constitutional provision that provides to all of the jurisdictions. Oh, yes. Are you talking about has another circuit opted into the Missouri plan? Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Where is that?
Greene County.
Okay. So now, do you think that if they kind of thought that this was not a good process, that they would operate in this manner?
The argument is not that it's a bad process. The argument is let's make it better. Let's make it more open to the public. Remove the dominance of the bar.
So that's the issue.
Absolutely right, and make it more
I just
public.
need to know. Bottom line in all of this is that we feel, or you feel, that the bar is heavy-handed in this process.
I think they have too much influence, and I think you're right. Greene County certainly is off to that.